This is actually my third time trying to make a video, but I didn't want to fuck it up because the topic is pedophilia. This is... And I know why I restarted it 3 times, because this is a big topic. It's definitely playing with fire topic. You know, there's a lot of people who have ruined their careers over this topic. Oh, God. And it actually is kind of sad. And I'll get why. But I can't defend said pedophiles or people that have, even if they haven't committed the act, people that have just even looked in that direction. Everybody, it's a collective thing, almost, at least in America and other first world countries, I'll say. It's like a collective consensus that, you know, we don't really agree with you taking advantage of people that aren't fully conscious yet or fully there yet or at the right age. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about pedophilia. Let's get to it. Why do people want to fuck kids? Why do people want to fuck kids? Like, that's, isn't that like a big part? Like, why do they? You know, there's groups, I think they're called MAPS, people that are sexually oriented to children. We're just going to get to it. Kids, when they come into this world, they have a high vibe. Before they're programmed by us, before we program them, you know, you can take a baby, throw it in the hood. Don't literally throw it. They won't care. It's so dark. Like the baby. Whoa! I'm sorry, that was fucked up. I apologize. Sorry. So much for the God, I apologize. Alright, anyway, I'm so sad. Anyway, if I take any baby, goddamn, throw it in the hood, it's gonna grow up to be likely, yeah. If I take a baby and I throw it in this fucking white privileged neighborhood, not all of them are that bad, by the way, but there's equal toxicity in its own regards, definitely. But if I take that baby and throw it in this neighborhood, it's probably going to grow up going to this nice-ass gym, getting some buff-ass muscles, and just, you know, banging some chick at Starbucks. It's probably what's going to happen. A lot different than likely the path that'll be played out if programmed that way. So anyway, kids in general have high vibrational energy, and lots of sacrificial demonic rituals involve taking children and torturing and raping them and eating them and doing stuff like that. And the reason why is, again, because a person connected to source 1,000,000 times stronger than someone who isn't. And the matrix itself is powered by us, those who are connected to source, and these dark, lower vibrational energies who don't have access to high levels of that stuff have to feed off of it. There was a great book, I know it's kind of going off pedophilia, I'll get back to it. There's a great book called Armageddon in Retrospect, and it was by the author who wrote it was in Dresden in Germany. I think it's in Germany. Was in Dresden when they got bombed. I think it was World War II. I could be wrong, it'd be World War I. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm spacing on that. But anyway, in the book, he described how the city of Dresden was bombed flat, destroyed, carpet bombed. And after he left the bombing area, him and all the survivors saw a mist over the bodies of dead people, and these shapes and figures feeding low on the ground. It was kind of like the dark beans in Harry Potter, you know, suck your soul out. There's stories of race and all that. Anyway, it's a big topic. We're just gonna get back to pedophilia. I know there's a little bit of off to the side, but children have that, and demonic possession is real, and temptation in an individual's life, yeah. But even if we don't get into that, the point is, a person really is attracted to the light of children. And we know children are beautiful things. Like, we can watch children. They're beautiful creatures. Things that they say, they open their mouth, you're so cute and funny. And the funny thing is, like, even now, I try to work on my inner child every day. And I do find attractive in an adult an inner child. When I meet a person who has their inner child, like, unlocked, it's so hot. Like, it is. It's like a beautiful, shiny, glowing, whoa. Like, look at that person. Because their inner child is lit. Their fire is lit. Children are like fire. And even in astrology, that's kind of the children of the zodiac are the fire signs. It's even the first signs. And you can see that live animation that's alive in kids. And, you know, you can look at the programs that happen to people, and they become that boring, you know, slow-moving person at the office. That child's kind of dead. That fire's kind of dead inside of them. And we watch celebrities like Michael Jackson and stuff where they got that inner child, that fire that is lit. So we are attracted, and I'm not going to get into Michael Jackson with kids, by the way. I'm not getting into that. But we are attracted to that. So it's really odd. It's not like the temptation comes from that angle, in a sense. And like I said, we can get into demonic stuff and all that, but I'm just going to put that to the side for a second. But that is a big part. The reason why that even happens is because of that. And I do want to say this. Perspective's a big thing. It's crazy. Because here in America, I think the legal age of consent is like 16 to 18 or something. I don't really know how exactly the rules work. Like, what if you're 19, you fuck a 17-year-old? I don't remember. I think legal age of consent is 16. So, like, I think you could have sex with somebody who's 16 or something and it'd play out right. I don't know how. I guess you got to look it up. I'm sorry. But in other countries, it's lower. Like, in South America, it's 14. In Nigeria, by the way, when you look this stuff up, you're like... By the way, I remember when I looked this stuff up, I was like, I am totally on a watch list now. I was like, what's the youngest age of consent in what country? Watch list. And if I'm not on a watch list, fuck, what's going on? But no, in like Nigeria, it's like 11. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that one's really fucking young. That's damn. 11 years old, huh? That's it's not legal now. That's fucked up. You know, if I were to tell a pedophile stuff, I'd say, just take a vacation to Nigeria. That's fucked up. Don't do that. Anyway, I'm gonna try to convince you to not do it, and I'll tell you a little story on my end. Hold up. I'll tell you a story on my end about pedophilia. Even though I really don't see it like that at all. But I will say, from the perspective of how society works, it's a no-go. Now, I don't want to... This person knows... I don't know if this person watches my videos or not, but it's okay if you do. There was a girl who lived next door to me who was really hot. I mean, she was physically hot. She was mentally mature beyond most people. Like, there's some chicks out here that are like 27, 36. They never matured at all. Their inner child's dead, yeah. And I am describing the light of an inner child in this situation. But I mean, these people literally have not matured at all in these arenas. They're like still narcissistic and everything. But I had a neighbor who was a really cute girl. She had empathy. She had all these good traits. She was actively fucking guys at her school. There's nothing about it in my mind that makes me think that I'm taking advantage of this person if I fucked her. But I was like 23 and I found out she was like 17. I was like, nope. And it sucked because at that moment, I already had an energy buildup of wanting this person. I didn't know how old she was. And then it kind of made it obvious that she came back from school one day and I was like, ooh, that's the first sign. That can't be good. You just came back from school. Shit. And then I was like, you're 17. So at that point, guess what I had to do? I had to cut off that buildup. Yeah. Because I'm not going to fuck with that. Obviously. But it's so stupid because I live in a society where it's like, either you know that information or you don't. I mean, there's plenty of people walking down the street you're looking at, but you don't know how old or young they are. I remember I was driving with my friend one day. We were driving, we're like, damn, we pulled up with some girl wearing a bikini. She was way too young. And I was like, me and this dude were like, ooh. From a mile away, it looked great. And then we pulled up, we're like, ooh. So anyway, why is this topic, what's wrong about this topic, is the fact that you're taking advantage of people that don't know who they are. They haven't fully built themselves. They don't have a strong ego or a strong sense of self. They're low on their shields, and you're coming in and invading them. I don't like LGBTQ bullshit about programming. It's the same topic. You raping a kid is the same, in my mind, as you programming them in these dark ways. I don't really believe you should be taking somebody and convincing them that they're supposed to be a girl or a boy when they chose as a soul to be in that body. Everybody did. That also doesn't mean you chose as a soul to be in this body and not have the freedom of choice to do what you wanted. You're just too young to make those decisions. I'm a firm believer in that. I live in a world where apparently I can't fuck this 17-year-old, but in another year she can kill people in the army. All right. Whatever. So I did want to say it like that. That's my one story of the closest thing to anything that could possibly be me and pedophilia. Was I liked a girl. She was 17. Too young. Too young. If we were in another country, another time period, I wouldn't have no problem banging the fuck out of that chick. Beat it. Fucking Elvis Presley was like, and I don't even attack it. Look up Elvis Presley. I think he was like a 15-year-old. I don't remember the age. It's huge. Way worse than mine. My story, everybody accepted that. And he's a good guy. It's a case-by-case basis. It's obvious. It's a case-by-case basis. We have 8 billion people on the planet. We don't have time for all that. So we have age consents and all this stuff. Obviously, I cannot imagine a 9-year-old at any age consent or any basis of whatever that's there enough for you to be having sex with them. So people like that go and they find like that. Those people totally deserve what's coming to them in prison. The stuff that happens, by the way, to people like that in prison is horrible. You do not want to be in a cell with a chomo. You don't want to be a chomo in prison at all. And I say that because I don't know what charges you would get if you were in my situation and fuck that 17-year-old, but man, would it suck to have gone to prison when I know in my mind it's like, I didn't really do anything wrong, but ain't nobody else going to see it that way. So I just warn you. Ain't nobody else gonna see it that way. I didn't do anything with that girl. The immediate moment I found out she came back from school, got this whole fucking energy bowl of like going on dates and thoughts and things. Just gotta let that blow off now. And yeah, there was a big, 23 and 17, yeah, it's a big, but it was just as individual. This one chick. She wasn't like, oh my God, like every other dumb high schooler. She wasn't that person. She was fully there. It was mind-blowing. Yeah, so I had to cut that off. Not easy. I just want to say that. It's not easy cutting off momentum in an energy, and sexual energy is some of the most powerful energy. So for people that fucked around and found out, I got another video about this, for people that fucked around and like masturbated child porn or entertained the thought, the desire to just do that thing is going to keep building on you because you're feeding into it. And like I said, the only story I got that's close to that is this 17-year-old, because I didn't know that's how young she was. I was feeding into it. And then like a week later, like after a week of momentum of thinking of a girl, to find out she just came back from school. Right. Doesn't mean the big ball of I don't want to, it just disappears. It's like, no, I got to work on it. And how do you work on it? Well, you focus on other things, obviously. But it's going to keep drawing you back to it. And I was already manifesting things. So like it'd play out where I'd walk out the house and I'd look over and she'd be bending halfway over, picking up something off the ground with her ass showing. And I'd be like, oh my God. That's what I mean. Because I manifested it. And that's a big topic when it comes to pedophilia is if you feed into these thoughts, you will manifest it. Because there's no limit. The universe ain't going to look... The universe doesn't have an opinion like that. Right and wrong. It's not really opinionated like that at all. So you wanting to build a house or go skiing, put your dick in and out of an animal or a kid, it doesn't really matter. You thinking those thoughts are going to create them into your reality. There is low vibrational thought energy, which has less power. And there's high vibrational thoughts that have more power. So me amplifying an event to help a bunch of people, genuinely out of a place of love, more movement and stuff will happen. Me wanting to rape a small child will play out a little bit, but it's really because of their extreme focus of this small bandwidth of energy that allows it to manifest. And that's why obsession on these topics develop in nasty ways. You can see it. It's like a weird, nasty, because they have to focus this low vibrational energy in order to get it going. And I just saying that because, yeah, you will manifest children. It's such a sad thing because and I say this because even though a kid's hooked up to source and they got a lot of power, they're easily programmable, mind-wise. They're easily you can mind fuck a kid better than an adult. Which is why narcissism and all these topics are so horrible. Because, you know, like I'm a kid, I'm growing up, I have narcissists for parents. What chance do I have, dude? Like what chance does a person like that have? You're just coming into this world facing somebody who has like 30, 40 plus years of experience of mastering these type of thoughts and manipulating things. They're really good at getting what they want in this obsessive dark way. They have extreme focus. And here you come in thinking you're just going to start building a little spark and on a little fire, make a little fire. That's just going to get put out instantly. All your dreams, goals, hopes, all that stuff's going to get crushed. And eventually you're going to come out of that life. And the only feeling that you can get to of any form of good are these kind of vibes, which is taking advantage of other people because you didn't heal yourself. Everybody thinks pedophiles, serial killers and stuff are people that are just psychotically having fun, doing whatever they want. They're not happy. They're not happy. That's why they're trying to rape kids, because they're hooked up to source, and they're not. They have it. Just like narcissism. Narcissism is somebody's hooked up to source, the bright, shiny light, and they don't have that. They have to feed off it, just like a demon. It's one and the same, as above, so below. I mean, these concepts go all the way down to cellular disease and cancer, all the way up to humans and the way they act. So anyway, when a person is doing that, when a person passes that it's a program. It's a program, aka I have 2 narcissists for parents. Could I see my dad fucking a 9-year-old? Fuck yeah! All day! My dad could fuck your kid, break its neck, throw it in the closet, close the door the moment you walked in, and have a great conversation with you. And laugh, man, you funny. Have a great conversation with you. Go outside, buddy, have a beer in each hand, arm around your shoulder. You don't know I just raped your kid and broke its neck. It's in the closet. Get rid of it later. You're not looking. So, that's the mentality of the people that I had to grow up with. So those programs, here you go, kid. And I chose as a soul, because I know how strong I am, to come down here in this life, and you should see it this way too, because you did. Especially if you're in a dark family. And if you're watching this video and you have any kind of resignation with a family like this is you too. You chose to come here because you were strong enough to break this curse. Because you know that even though you're going to deal with it, and you're going to have all these dark thoughts, and you're going to have to plow it out, trust me, the transformation process between that and where you are is an ugly thing. Just like a fucking caterpillar turning into a butterfly, it's got to be the most disgusting, slimy thing ever in that cocoon. The process of me detoxing bad habits, like beating the shit out of animals and stuff, and like that those were the programs handed to me. AKA, these are the things that are manifesting automatically. That baby in the hood, we could throw that baby now. Now he's grown up, we could throw that 15-year-old here in the suburban area. It doesn't matter. Now we're going to start hearing gunshots in this area. You're going to be pulling in people just like you now, because it's in your energy. This is the curse that you've been kind of been programmed with. Anyway, so the reason why I talk about that is people that are psychotic and serial killers and child. I guess it's all the same topic, but whatever. There's a name for it. I just can't remember what it is. People that have like kitty dens, or like you know what I mean. All that behavior derives from somebody who went through that trauma and they couldn't break free. The same places that me and all these people I'm describing, we came from, but they couldn't break free. They couldn't break free from that generational curse. That no point in you being your highest self here. You're a fractured version of what you would be. Jeffrey Dahmer is a fractured version of who he could have been as a person. His higher self doesn't want him to kill people. But the low vibrational archon-based ego body that is here and born didn't get a chance to connect with source as much throughout his childhood. Blockages were created. Years of beliefs and all that. These blockages have been here since they were a kid. This is all they know. I used to be a drug addict. Bro, the difference between being sober and being a drug addict is so different. But trust me when I say, just because you quit doing a drug for a day or two, bro, the detox takes a while before you will feel any form of normality. And this normality isn't normal. You've never felt it. So you need to understand people like this never have really felt love. It's too high of a vibe. Look up Napoleon Hill's Law of Success in 16, not Law of Success, Think and Grow Rich. It talks about the stimuli of the mind, the 10 different stimuli of the mind. Love and sexual expressions are one of the highest on the top. Fear and drug and alcohol is on the bottom. So my point being, a lot of these people had come from drug abused houses, lots of fear-based influence. So these people get to a point where the best they can feel, living their shit life with no personality, no character. They know they have sick thoughts. They have all these different problems. Is the only fun they can get is, maybe torturing a small child or feeling dominant over something else because they were dominated their whole time. I was dominant. Trust me. I was dominated by my mom and my family for the first 2 years afterwards. I could have stabbed my mom to death. That's where it went to. That's how dark it was. And I had to transmute that. Now I love my mom. Will I ever talk to her again? I probably. Probably. If I could not, I would love that. That'd be awesome. If I live the rest of my life, never seen her again, that's okay. Because I'm so focused on, like, doing podcast. I want to do, like, video game streams. I want to go out and have fun. Like, I have things I want to go do. I want to go enjoy my life, you know. But on that topic, that's what I had to go through. So I'm not defending pedophiles. I'm not defending people that are trying to program your kids to cut their dick off at age 12. I'm not trying to defend those people. I'm just saying I'm not going to hate on them all because there's a certain amount of, they just never had love. I mean, at the deepest. Now, by the way, that doesn't mean you let these people walk on you. Fuck these people. I remember I was watching this video of this kid. He killed some random homeless guy because he just kept thinking about killing people. He just wanted to do it. So he just walked up to some homeless guy in a tent one day, stabbed him in the neck, cut off his head, cut off his arms, threw his arms everywhere, kept his hands in his head, put it in a bag, kept putting it in his closet. His mom found the head and hands, called the police. And cops like, so is there anything you want to tell me? And he's like, yeah, I got a human head and hands in my closet. And he felt really good. He's like, yeah, and he did. He feels really good. This is the best. He's a loser. He's kind of like weird and awkward. This is the best vibe he can get. It's just, look how strong I am. This is how strong I am. Look how strong I am. I was able to kill this thing. Like, you know. Yeah. It all comes from a place where it's kind of sad. It's sad. It really is sad. Anyway, as I'm going to end this, I'm trying to think how to end this right. This is a this is a big topic. I'll make sure to say anything too fucked up. It's going to look bad on my end. Besides that 17-year-old, I mean, I don't know what else you can do. Say whatever you want. I never did anything. You know, I was watching Dr. Disrespect or something. I don't know what he did exactly, but he was hitting up a minor. So he was attempting to. You know, it's like the instant you find out, though, now you have the difficulty of having to, because why does it, think about it, if you were already attracted to something and then you find out its age and that's what keeps you from, because like some legal reason, it has nothing to do with your beliefs. It has everything to do with beliefs outside of you. And now you have to change your will to that. So to be a person who wants to fuck kids, I really just see it as a coming from a place of you just don't have your own inner fire and inner child and your own source. You're not hooked up to that enough. If you were, you wouldn't be craving somebody who was. And again, that's why narcissists go after people like that. I'm not saying all narcissists want to fuck kids. I'm saying narcissists purposely target that inner child in people. Would a narcissist fuck a kid? They don't care. So yeah, if they could, duh. That's really my opinion. Yeah. Duh, they don't care. If they get away with it, duh. Did my dad fuck kids? I don't know. My dad's fucked every person imaginable in every relationship. My dad, I know what it's like. My mom told me, my mom changed a baby's diaper in the same room with my dad. My dad knew that that's my kid. I fucked that girl across the room, even though we're in a relationship. We had a kid together. Now you're changing its diaper. You'll never know. So people like that, yeah, I mean, you can't trust them. So, you know, duh. Well, you shouldn't trust those. I don't care if they have a track record or not. You should be able to look at a person and be able to judge them based upon their character. And you can tell because of how happy they're, not saying that how happy they are, but how hooked up to themselves they are, how hooked up to their higher self they are. If you're hooked up to source, you won't do these things. You won't. You just can't. I can't imagine hurting somebody that's innocent like that. It's like 10 or 12 or 14, 15, 16, even another 17-year-old. There's 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds I couldn't do it to. There's a 20. I'm not kidding. There's so many guys who will go to a bar. That bitch will be just old enough, and that makes it okay. Those same chicks, I wouldn't bang because I can tell they're not there. It just so happens, though, I did meet a 17-year-old who was there. Yeah, and actively fucking people. So it didn't make sense to me why I couldn't do it, besides the fact, outside of me, yeah. And like I said, if I was in South America, people would be like, bro, she's like 3 years past the day. Who gives a fuck? Ain't that weird? Think about that, perspective-wise. Think about it. I'm just saying, a lot of people like to jump the gun on all of these topics because they just keep repeating what everybody else is saying. So the instant somebody hates something, everybody hates it. The instant somebody gets caught being a pedophile, even if it's something stupid like they messaged somebody and then they found out, oh, you're actually underage, never mind, I'm good. Oh, he was talking to a minor. That motherfucker didn't even know. You know, and you have no idea how tortured, like, this is a big topic. The people that get labeled these things, like sex offenders and stuff, for pissing at a playground, that shit happens. The rest of their lives are affected. So it's a big topic. I do agree, though, that I am not supporting your ass going out and raping innocent kids. There is no consent by these people. If they're that young, we know. Bro, we know. Any functioning human being can look and know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If anybody met the 17-year-old I'm talking about, the only reason why you'd waive her is because you know she's 17. That's it. I mean, that's it. Yeah, I guess I'm going to end this video. I'm going to be debating on posting it. just because it touches those topics. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I really don't care. These are things I want to talk about, you know? Like, I live in a world where, like, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sitting over here doing ads for everything. People like that are so fake. Like, fake fucks like that are in charge. I watched Will Smith make out with Jaden Smith, his kid, on Ellen DeGeneres show. So I literally live in a world where apparently it ain't just P. Diddy. Like, Drake's been caught doing this. So many people are pedophiles that are famous. They just get away with it. It's such a normal thing. Because they're feeding off. I'm not kidding. Yet average people down here be getting in trouble over a 17-year-old. Or pissing at a park. But we know for a fact that, like, we can watch Will Smith. It's hard to find, by the way. I tried looking up this video. It's the Ellen DeGeneres show. How hard could it be to find an episode of the Ellen DeGeneres show? I don't know. But I remember I tried looking it up recently. It's almost impossible because everybody's trying to save his ass. I watched Will Smith take Jaden Smith, do this with his tongue inside of his mouth while the kid was trying to flee over the couch. He tried to get out of the way. No! And he grabs him by the waist and pulls him back over the couch while Ellen DeGeneres is just smiling. By the way, I've seen footage of that bitch looking pretty weird on some yachts with her hands on some small children. They're like 12 years old, so I don't trust either of those fucks. Sorry. I don't trust either of those fucks. Like I said, demonic rituals and raping children and making it a thing is like a big thing. You have no idea how many hundreds of thousands of people disappear. I don't even know the numbers. They're so huge. Look up David Icke. He talks about it because he actually went out and looked up by region how many people went in this, because they don't add it up. You have to look up by region. So if you look in America, you have to look up by regions in some way and then add it all up to find out the number of how many kids are missing. How much of the cattle is being grabbed out. Because that's kind of how it works. People are cattle. They work, and we harvest them for their children. It does happen on a huge scale. I only have like another minute left. This is like the biggest topic. I want this to be eliminated from this planet. This sacrificial, dark energy of children. There's also this other topic that I just try to bring up, which was not all pedophilia is what it seems like. The fact of the 17-year-old story. There's a lot of people that have situations like that where the age difference is like nothing, or the person's completely mature, and people get in charge for stuff like that. Though I will say, since that is the world we live in, don't do it. You do not want to go to prison with that chomo charge. That's all I'm saying. And obviously, this is such an obvious question. You know if you're doing right or wrong. You know, I'm not defending any. You know, it's like I said, case by case basis. It'll probably take me 3 seconds to analyze the situation to go, yeah, you're 20 for life, 25 to life, or you're innocent. And it's really that simple. I mean, it's quite easy. Like 14-year-old girl over here, yeah, no. I know it's like the legal age of consent's 14 in like South America. For me, that one is a little hard for me to imagine. Sorry. It might be that legal age consent down there, and that's what I'm saying. It is a perspective thing, which is really mind fucking to think about. That's how much energy is on this topic, so much so that you could just move somewhere else on the planet and do it, and it's not a big deal. But you can go over here; it's a big deal. I don't agree with the 14. I think it's really young, but that's because I was raised in a place where it's 16 and older, so maybe that it is. But yeah, it's so obvious. Some people are not there, and you're raping them. I've been raped by a family member. It's not fun. All right, I love you guys. Like, subscribe. You know what to do.